you see the star in the back. You've been doing the Cowboys thing, but I told you we were circling back with the high school athletes. We've been having a slew of great interviews, man. You need to go check them out on the Big Game James page. And I got another one. I had a few quarterbacks, but now I got a dog quarterback coming in here. Already signed with the University of Liberty. We got a story to tell, and he's pretty nice on that baseball field. So for everybody out there, let everybody know your name, where you hail from, a little bit of quick background before we knock out some of these good questions we're gonna hit you with.
Well, my name is Rhys Mooney, and I'm from Denham Springs, Louisiana, and I go to Denham Springs High School, and I play quarterback, and I was raised most of my life in Mississippi, but now I live here in Louisiana. So
there it is. Hey, well, like I said, we're going to definitely talk about some things. I'm excited. We're definitely going to talk about that Liberty commit. But let's talk about the quarterback position itself. Now, we had talked earlier, we had a show, but the storm knocked us out, and we had talked a little bit of stuff about how, you had kind of came into the quarterback position after the 7th grade and 9th grade, you got your first offer. So from kind of that point when you got your first offer, which is exciting because a lot of young men aren't getting offers in 9th grade. So tell me, from that point, did it get your mindset to like, I'm gonna go a little bit harder in this thing because I can do something with this?
I actually thought it was my moneymaker.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's something I've dreamed of as a little kid, kind of growing up and playing Division I ball and football or baseball.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it's been going pretty good for me, and it's just the help from my quarterback coaches, my trainers, and stuff like that. And my parents also for, kind of providing for me and sacrificing for me,
mm-hmm.
and doing whatever they can to, help me chase my dreams.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's kind of hard work too. I put a lot into this,
mm-hmm.
and I kind of manifested all this that it would come true. So, I mean, I'm kind of living the dream right now, but, it's not over. I just got a lot more work to do. So.
Yeah, definitely. Now that's an exciting thing. Now let's talk about going into your senior season. Now I don't know if I'm mistaken, but I believe you guys have 39 seniors returning to your school this year.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so obviously there's going to be some big goals ahead for that. Maybe what are some of your personal goals from your team aspect? Maybe leadership, or I know everybody wants to win the championship, but I know some other things want to be established with the team as well. Maybe some things that you have some goals with that, and some personal goals that you have for yourself for your senior season.
No doubt, personal goals for me are winning this, of my team win, but kind of breaking. We have a little passing record that I really want to break, but that's really not. That's just a bonus of what I really want to accomplish for the team part. Mm-hmm. For the team part, the main goal for us is ultimately win the state championship, and I feel like we have the biggest shot that we've had in all of my 4 years of being at Denham, and just all the hard work that we put in since we were little kids. I mean, I've been with them since I moved here in 5th grade. Mm-hmm. We've been really tight, so if we make that happen, then that'll be something special for us, and we'll never forget. And we'll tell our kids about it one day, and we'll always meet up and talk about the state championship. But that's just something that we've been working for, and we've been working really hard this off season. Mm-hmm. Just kind of in the quarterback room. From my point of view, we've been getting the playbook and learning that from the back of our hand, and just kind of getting more familiar with like defensive coverages and things like that. But we've been striving to become the best in the state, so we need to continue that.
Well, I'm definitely excited to hear about that and see that. Now, since you're playing the quarterback position, you said you're in the film room looking at coverages and things like that. What would you say some of your strengths are at the quarterback, and maybe what are some things that you maybe want to add into this season and even beyond?
My ability to move in the pocket, kind of get out the pocket a little bit, use my feet. That's been a pretty strong suit for me. I've got my 40 a lot faster, so I can move a lot better after my ankle injury. Like most people think you're a lot slower, but I've gotten a whole lot faster.
Mm-hmm.
I've got my 40 down to 4.6. So I mean, it's pretty good for me.
That's
nice. Just having that mobility. See guys in the NFL like Patrick Mahomes and all of them, that they're able to use their feet and stuff like that. But baseball kind of carried into football too, just different arm slots that I could throw in. That kind of helped me. Just moving out the pocket and, kind of getting rid of the ball in different slots when I need to. And my footwork's pretty good. And, just seeing the field well, that's another thing that I've done pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
The 3 years that I've been at Denham, Haven't had many turnovers. So, I mean, just kind of keep that consistent and, just kind of, strive for greatness for sure.
Yeah, definitely, and that's good. And now you mentioned that baseball, and we're going to definitely talk about that. Now, you had a story actually seen on your Twitter page about how you had committed to the University of Vanderbilt, but after a little bit of process, you decided to go with the University of Liberty. Now, we're going to talk about the baseball thing because it kind of coincides with why you decommitted to Vandy. But for everybody else out there who hasn't heard that story, give us a quick little rundown and breakdown of how that happened.
Well, I committed to Vanderbilt around November, and it was kind of a little bit after my injury. I'm gonna be honest, I kind of panicked, and me and my dad were just like, me and my parents, we talked over it, we prayed about it, and we just, we thought at that time, we needed a spot, so
Right.
I chose Vanderbilt because it'd be a great academic school. Great offensive mind, great offensive coaches. And, I feel like I could probably develop there. And, I just, at the end of the day, they wouldn't let me play baseball, at least give it a shot my freshman year. And, just stuff along that line. So I decided to decommit and reopen my recruitment. But one school kind of stuck out to me. And, it was Liberty because they recruited me even when I was committed. So they stayed really loyal to me. And it's kind of funny though because I kind of talk about how I manifested this. I really manifested myself playing with Coach Rhys one day. When he coached at Ole Miss, I was living in Mississippi at the time. So it was kind of my dream playing for him. I was playing in the backyard, my Ole Miss jersey and stuff like that. And it's been really cool though because when he moved to Liberty, he contacted me a lot, and I talked to Coach Ken Austin, and we get in touch all the time. And I just kind of stuck with them, and that's definitely the best spot for me, and I'll definitely be attending that school for sure.
That's nice. And you already seen they had a top draft pick in Malik Willis, and they've actually had a few players. Actually, my team, Dallas Cowboys, has a linebacker. I think his name is Stoney Brook that came from Liberty. He was undrafted. I think Cowboys picked him up. So Liberty's putting out some players in the NFL. So I like it because maybe you're not in the big school, but you're a big fish in maybe a smaller pond, and you can really turn up and do your thing. So, and you're talking about baseball. So talk about the baseball thing because, a lot of people play different sports, dual athletes. Some people run track for football. Some people play basketball. But what do you think baseball kind of correlates with the football thing? You said a little bit, but kind of let the people out there know, what do you think baseball and football kind of correlate with each other?
Just footwork's a big thing for both of those sports. You got to have speed. Got to be able to move in the pocket and for my position, shortstop, because that's probably the most athletic position on the field, maybe besides center field. But and kind of having that core strength, when you hit and then when you throw, like all those kind of correlate together. I feel like more quarterbacks should start playing baseball in this generation because that kind of helps out with a lot of stuff in any sport, but mainly baseball for me. But It's really helped me get to where I am today at football because it was my first love. I started it when I was 3 years old. So, and then it kind of took me into football, and now football is kind of, my mindset now.
Okay. Now, you play baseball in college. You play baseball you play football in college. What if there's an opportunity to play both? Would you try to do that? Because I had another athlete on here. He said he would try because he still loves the game of baseball. Would that be an option for you?
They've actually offered me to play baseball too. So for right now, I will be playing baseball and football at Liberty. And I will maybe kind of graduate high school early and kind of get into the spring and, kind of get familiar with the offense and stuff like that and work with Coach Austin because me and him talk daily. And I love that guy. So, but I just want to see how the season turns out in football and see if I want to graduate early or not. But I really don't want to give up my senior season of baseball. I kind of want to enjoy that with my teammates, right? Because I've been through thick and thin with them,
right?
And been through some tough seasons, been through some really good seasons. But but my plan right now is to graduate early and just kind of get familiar with all that. But Yes, sir. I would definitely try baseball and football my freshman year, and if that does not work out, then I'll have to part ways with baseball and kind of just stick it out with football, because that's my passion for sure right now.
Okay. So that's what it is. And I really want to see you. I really want to see you turn up at Liberty. I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna be all up on that Liberty thing. Like, oh boy, Rhys about to turn up over there and just kill it. But
Yes,
hey,
sir. I'm gonna work.
yeah, I know
Sure.
you go work. I seen some of your tape, dog. I like you. You know what I'm saying? I like you. You got that good enough size. You know, some people try to hinder that, but we've seen now in the 2020s, we've seen the 2000s. See, when I was coming up in football, that was highly against. You know, you had to be a prototypical size, a big size quarterback, and they would never give the short guys. Not saying you're short, but they would try to undercut people that maybe not the 6'3s or the 6'4s.
Yeah, I've had a couple schools say
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little bit too short to play in
Yep.
the SEC. That's why Vanderbilt was the only main option for me, because I had schools like Arkansas, Ole Miss, Kentucky,
Right.
but they weren't really worried about me. And I had a bunch of schools like Miami and Cincinnati, but just Liberty just stuck out to me more than anybody. It really shocked me when I went up there, because I was just like, golly, like. And now they're starting to get some really good 4-star recruits now, because I'm
You could be starting the trend, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like when you see
sir.
them
I've been kind of doing some recruiting on my own.
Yep.
So I've just been trying to get some athletes around me.
That's how it happens. That's how it starts. I mean, you see, like I said, they've already had Malik Willis come through. You're a big time athlete. You sign with them. You start getting the word of life mouth, say, hey, come on over here. We can do this. You get 2 or 3 more kids up there, and then y'all turn up in the league and y'all start winning. I've seen time and time again, because I came up when Boise State was small. Okay, nobody was talking about Boise State back in the day, but then they started getting some players here and there. They start beating some big teams. Next thing you know, big time recruits start coming there, and then now they're a known team. Too many times it's happened. You could be starting a trend, so go out there and kill that. But I want to ask you a few more questions before I get you off of here. One of the things I want to ask, because I heard you talking about your family influence, which is a great thing. I love hearing how the family has influenced you, being a great kind of background and a support system for you. But what kind of motivates you when you get up every day to kind of be the best that you can be? Whether it's maybe family, maybe mentors. What kind of gets Reese Mooney going every single day when maybe he wants to get tired and give up?
Well, it's always a blessing to get up every morning. I think my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, I'm a big believer in Him.
Mm-hmm.
And what kind of helps me get up early in the morning every single day of my life is because I'm not really doing it for me. I'm doing it for the people that got me here, and my parents and the rest of my family.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to give another shout out to my quarterback coaches that have helped me along the way too: Wyatt Davis, Brian Sparacina, and my quarterback coach at my high school now, Eric France. So they've kind of mentored me, but just kind of, I really think about my future a lot, and what really motivates me is I want my wife and kids to have the best life. So I just I just work as hard as I can every single day to get better, so I can live my best life too. I don't just really do it for me. I just do it for the people around me in my community.
I love that, man. You sound real selfless, and you sound like a leader. And I see everybody in the community like, go Rhys. We love some Rhys. Yeah. I know they love some Rhys out there. You know what I mean? So it's it's a beautiful thing that we're talking about this.
No doubt.
One other thing I wanted to ask you, do you look up to anybody maybe in the college ranks or in the NFL, maybe patting your game after anybody? I'm seeing you mention Pat Mahomes. Is there somebody that you really watch at the quarterback position that say, hey, I really want to have my game at that level? What quarterbacks do you like?
I mean, Patrick Mahomes, he's a really good quarterback. So, I mean, if I had my game like his, and, I can go as far as I want to in this game. But I kind of want to have the mindset of Tom Brady for sure, because his mental game is what's got him to where he is. Because, if you know where you're going with the ball, if you see a guy maybe playing off, you got to know all that stuff. You got to know the leverage of the safeties and, the linebackers and just stuff like that. Got to know defensive fronts. I mean, that's if you know where you're going with the ball, then, it don't really matter how talented you are. I mean, because he wasn't the most talented guy. But if you got all the talent in the world and you don't have any work ethic, then you're just a wasted a bit of talent. So I mean that's how I see it. It's more of a mental thing than physical, because I know I have the physical ability, I mean, a lot of quarterbacks do, but I think the mental part of the game is what takes some of us a long way.
I definitely will agree with that part of it, especially it's all a lot of the game is mental, even where anything you do. You can have
No
the
doubt.
all athletic ability, but we've seen even when some of the athletic ability leaves, if you have the mental part of the game, that's why you see players play 15, 16, Tom Brady playing 20 years
No
because of
doubt.
the mental aspect of the game. So you hit the nail on that. So one of the last things I want to say before we get up off here, like all the athletes I've already interviewed, I want to say that we're going to have more interviews than this, and it's basically a
No
mid
doubt.
and an end season. So what I've told everybody, we want to see the story of the goals that you set at the very beginning, and then we're going to have in the mid-season and at the end of the season that if you accomplish those goals that we have both spoke about. So I'm excited to see that. Now I already got some of your tape, and I'm going to drop that on some of my channels already, so the world can know about this quarterback right here. Because I'm trying to tell you, see, I don't be trying to hype people up. If you ain't that good, I don't be trying to lie and say you're good. Okay, so everybody know I keep it real, dog. So that's when I
Yes,
say
sir.
if he good,
Thank you.
they're gonna be like, okay, we believe Big Game because he don't lie about players. If they ain't good, he'd be like, eh.
Oh yeah, I got you. I
You know what
got
I'm
you. Yeah,
saying? You know what I'm
appreciate it
saying?
though.
So we'll keep on showing everything out. You enjoy your day. Do you want to give any last few shout outs before we head out here?
No, not really. Just to all the kids out there working and stuff, trying to get better. Just keep working, have faith, trust in the Lord, and most importantly, win games. That's what I could say. And just work hard, chase your dreams. I mean, because nothing is impossible. So.
Definitely, man. And I definitely appreciate you taking your time out your busy schedule. I know you got a lot of things going on. Please.
No doubt. No, I'm good right now. So.
Hey, well, like I said, I appreciate it. Now, I also want to tell you, man, I shout out to your mother and father. I always want to give the parents a big props before we get off of here, because, like you said, without the parents really giving out everything you do to make it easier and better for you, we always just want to show that love because a lot of people don't see the sacrifice. I have actually one athlete. I talked to his mother, and she was kind of telling me the back and forth of the recruiting process, that the traveling that they have to do, and I really people need to really see it's a lot of sacrifice that goes on.
Yeah, that's been pretty overwhelming too for me and my family. So
yeah. So I did want to say one thing. My cousin is actually going to the University of LSU. His name is Ryan Yates. He plays for Denton in Texas. He's a 4-star cornerback and he's safety. Now, the thing that kind of stood out to me, what you were saying, was how Liberty stayed with you. Now, he signed with LSU, but he gave like the verbal commit. Oklahoma has come in on the scene, I think Cal State, Fullerton, and he said those teams have really still been pressing him and staying with him. I want to talk a little bit about that process, from the recruiting aspect
no
of
doubt.
leaving from one school and going to another. How is that? Is the calls every day, or is it emails? Is it text messages? What is it really like? I just want to get the people to get an understanding before we head off here.
Oh yeah, for sure. Once I was committed to while I was committed to Vanderbilt, I was kind of talking to UAB too and Liberty, and it kind of came down between them once I kind of decommitted. It came down between UAB and Liberty, but that was probably the hardest decision of my life to tell UAB that I wasn't going to commit because
right.
those coaches were really loyal to me.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them were like they were the same to me, but Liberty's my dream, so I mean had to go follow it. But yeah, it's a little tough going from one school to the next because I really like those coaches over there at Vanderbilt, and but
it's got to be right for you.
Sometimes it just is what it is, and that's the recruiting process nowadays in the transfer portal. I'm out of like my head coach kind of got me to not believing in that, so. And I also give a shout out to him too, because he's on me all the time, and I really appreciate that. And he's kind of built me into the player that I really want to be and who I am today. So, and I feel like when I get the job done for him, I'll be back at the school all the time, to come say what's up. But I really appreciate him too. So.
Okay, well, hey, I appreciate you jumping on here. And it's a different era because when I was coming up, the NI deals weren't out there. So it's really interesting to see how you can actually sign things when you're in college now. So it's really made it change the whole college aspect of the game of football. And I know possibly those things can happen for yourself. So that would be a great thing for not just for yourself and your family. So hopefully those things will materialize for you. So we
No doubt.
appreciate you, Rhys, man. I thank you for taking your time out of your day. I hope you have a blessed day. And we're definitely going to be talking to you soon, man. I appreciate the shout out.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right.
Thanks
So for Big Game James, Reese Mooney, you better check him out, dog. He like the new little Brett Favre out there. You better go check him out. He about to do some things out there. So we'll be talking to you soon.